Welcome back to Theme Deck Tuesday. As you can see here, we're getting into a tournament as the Fusion Strike set has just come out, and as with the previous sets, we are able to go into tournaments and have the opportunity to win some Fusion Strike packs as well as additional rewards here. So we're getting into our first game. We are playing the Relentless Flame Charizard deck for Theme Deck Tuesday. Of course, we have to be in the Theme Deck format. Perhaps we could do a regular standard format at some point as well. If you'd be interested in that, then be sure to let me know. And we are getting to go first here, which is very nice. I do want to get that first energy down, which would be great to see. And we have a pretty good hand starting out, which is excellent. Let me know if you have any of the Fusion Strike cards yet, if you've picked any packs up, and if you've gotten any good pulls. Haven't opened too much of the set myself, as I've just been focused on other things and working with the cards that I have already, but certainly looks to be a fun set. Nothing too crazy going on apart from maybe the Mew VMAX being the standout deck at the moment, but other than that I don't see it being super impactful, and I'm quite happy playing some of the decks that I already have at the moment. But getting into this game, my opponent is going to be playing that starter deck, which is not going to end well for them, which always feels bad when you're completely dominating a starter deck like this. But we'll start off by getting ourselves a Farfetch here. We can attach onto the active and then pass over to my opponent. No need to retreat just now, just in case we get into a Rapidash off the top deck or from this how, then we can at least go ahead and attack with that rather than going into the Farfetch. But certainly the Farfetch is going to be useful for drawing cards and ensuring that we're set up here. My opponent did go for a Roller Skates, but they got a Tails on that, so no draw from them. And they're also able to get another Pokemon off the top of their deck with the Great Ball there. We're getting smacked for 10 damage, not going to be super big, but we'll go with a How. Just going to be drawing a lot of energy. At least we do get a Pokemon fan club, that is pretty useful. But we will be going into our Farfetch here so that we can start drawing cards and ensuring that we have a nice big hand with lots of options. Of course, we're going to be drawing into more energy because theme decks do have a lot of energy. My opponent gets that evolution down, certainly makes sense, but they are going to be needing a stage 2 for that Miltank to be dealing any kind of significant damage, and we can slowly work towards building up our bench Pokemon here, which is going to be great for setting up our primary attackers in the Charizard and Rapidash. I think we go for a Charmander at the very least, potentially another Nidoqueen line is going to be on the cards, and that seems like a good start for me. We could always get a second Charmander, but I think getting the two Nidoqueens set up is going to be super good overall, so we'll go with that. And we can also start setting up a Rapidash as well, and we'll just draw two cards once again, getting another energy and the evolution, so we're in a good spot here to actually get into the Nidoqueens pretty quickly. And my opponent is going to be starting to attach onto their Miltank so that they can hit us for some more relevant damage rather than just 10 damage every turn. But that's perfectly fine by me. We have another Farfetch'd if that one goes down, and we do also get another Brock's Grit, which is certainly not going to be useful right now, but that's alright. We'll go ahead and attach to the Charmander, draw our two cards once again, hoping for a Nidoqueen, but looks like it is just two more energies. Does my opponent have the third energy for the Miltank here in order to get the knockout, or is it just going to be another 10 damage attack? I'm quite happy with that if that's what they go for, and it is. They don't have the energy, which is perfect for us. We're able to draw and get a Cynthia. That could be good to refresh our hand here, honestly. I don't hate that at all, so I'm going to attach an energy and use Cynthia. We're going to be losing all of these energies, but that's alright. I want to see some Pokemon in our hand, get a bit more variety, and there we go. We get a Nidoqueen, which is perfect. This is going to allow us to use Queen's Call right here and get ourselves the other Nidoqueen out of the deck, and we can then use that one in order to search out any other Pokemon that we want. Of course, if you're not familiar with this theme deck, then go ahead and check in the description. I'll also leave a link to the previous deck reviews that I've done on this deck, as it is a very powerful deck overall, so certainly having a good understanding of how it works is going to be crucial in order to make it run effectively, but it is also very simple and straightforward to use, so you shouldn't have too many problems piloting this particular deck. We're going to draw 2 more cards though, with our Farfetch getting into the Rapidash that we're looking for, and it's not really a big deal if we find any Pokemon at this point, because we do have both of our Nidoqueens, which is going to allow us to search out 2 Pokemon every single turn, and it also thins out the deck so we can get some great draws off of our supporter cards. We even have the Professor Kukui, so we can deal a good amount of damage here with the Farfetch, which I do quite like the idea of, as we can always finish off the Miltank with the Rapidash. So let's go ahead and use a Timer Ball here just to get it out of the hand. There's not really anything else that we're looking for, so we'll use it to get a Charizard rather than this Charmeleon. Already have Charmeleon in play, so certainly don't need another one. And then we can use our Nidoqueens here, like I said, get out more Pokemon from the deck. We can start building up some Pokemon in our hand, like another Charizard line. That seems pretty good to me. And then we're going to be able to attach an energy as well onto one of our Pokemon. Probably just a Nidoqueen, since it does have a 3 energy attack. Going to need some additional energies on there to power it up, but like I said, going for the Professor Kukui, and then we can hit our opponent for a big 40 damage, and then finish off with the Rapidash there, using that agility in order to deal 60, and then potentially prevent my opponent from dealing any damage to Rapidash. Is going to be great. My opponent does finish off our Farfetch here, but that's fine as it has served its purpose, and we can now just focus on closing out this game. We pick out a Charmeleon from the deck, that's fine. We'll just search out a couple extra Pokemon to thin out the rest of the deck, a Farfetch, and we'll get the other Rapidash as well. Get that into play as another attacking option, and play it down. I think we'll also use the Charizard to get some extra energies into play, and mean that it also thins the deck of these energies, which is great. We will attach onto the active, of course, so that we can actually attack, and we'll use our How to draw 3 cards here. Not anything particularly useful, but the Brock's Grit is a good pickup overall, so that we can recycle some Pokemon and energy when we need it. And there's the heads on agility, so my opponent is not going to be able to deal any damage to this Rapidash because we flipped a heads there, and they're going to be in a very tough spot, as we're able to deal 60 damage every single turn. Or if we really want to, we could use a switch and go into a different Pokemon to actually get the knockout here. Could go into a Nidoqueen, the one that we've started attaching energy onto, and just knock out a bunch of my opponent's Pokemon. They really have nothing that can deal a significant amount of damage to us at this point. Sure, they could hit us for weakness, with the Nidoqueen being weak to Psychic. That could be problematic, but we have so many other attacking options, it's not going to be particularly relevant. Let's go and use our Nidoqueens once again. Like I said, totally thin out the deck of all of these Pokemon so that we don't have to worry about getting any bad draws whatsoever. And we can use our other Queen's Call, get the last Pokemon here. And there's not really any point in playing supporters, because they're all going to be shuffling our hand into our deck, which is not something that we want. We'll just go with the switch into Nidoqueen, attach our energy, and we can start attacking our opponent. All of our Pokemon are evolution Pokemon, so we're going to be dealing the max damage with Nidoqueen, which is a massive 260. Certainly not any Pokemon in theme format which is going to be able to withstand that, and there's not anything that my opponent has in play which is going to be a threat to this Nidoqueen, and it is going to give us a good couple of turns here to continue to attach energy onto our other Nidoqueen as well, so that we have a backup there. Could always go with the Rapidash, but since we do already have one with energy on it, we should be good. And there we go, my opponent concedes. There's no way of them winning against this deck, and we're able to get an easy victory. Also get some points on our challenge, which is good there. and we can see if anyone else is finished in the tournament or if we're close to being the first. Just waiting on one more person, so I'll go ahead and see you guys in the next match and see what theme deck we're up against in that one. Round 2 is starting here, and as we can see, we're up against the Soaring Storm Dragonite deck. This is going to be a tough one, two of the best decks up against each other, and this is only the second round, so we're really rooting out all of the lesser decks and focusing on all of the top tier theme decks right here in this video, as it is certainly going to be close. And yeah, I think this is going to be a pretty tough one. We'll have to see who can get set up the quickest. We do at least have the Charmander and Charmeleon in our hand already. Unfortunately, no supporter though. We do pick up a Kukui, that could be decent. We do have a reasonable attack, but we have to discard energy. I honestly don't mind that, as the Kukui is going to be drawing us some cards here, and we even pick up a Timer Ball, but as we can see, we only have one basic Pokemon in play, which certainly isn't ideal, as we're going to be a little bit stuck. The Charmeleon does have a 2 attack cost, so perhaps we could have just held off on the attack, then we could have built up some energies, because now we're going to be in a tough spot if my opponent is able to get a knockout here. But they do have a 3 energy attack cost. The 1 energy on Tornadus is only dealing 20 damage, so we do at least have a turn to try and find a basic Pokemon, but if we're not able to get one, then I think we are going to be losing this game. My opponent needs to find an energy here, which they do get, so they're right on track in order to win the game on the following turn. Even if we get out our Charmeleon, I think we're going to be in a pretty bad spot. The Charmeleon does have 90 HP, so we will survive the 80 damage from Tornadus, but I'm not sure how that's going to quite save us in order to win the game overall. But we'll start off with the Timer Ball and try and get out a Charizard here. We do get a single head, so that is going to be enough for the Charizard, which I will take. Then we can use How to draw 3, looking for some basics. We at least get a Cynthia, which is something I suppose, and we'll just have to pass over to my opponent. But I mean, oh man, yeah, I totally didn't even realise, but because my opponent attacked us last turn, they already did that 20 damage, so that is all they need in order to get the knockout there. That is so unfortunate. We weren't able to close out the game purely because we couldn't find any basic Pokemon, and my opponent just needed the energies there, so that is a real shame. We just couldn't get set up, which is not something that happens too often with the deck, but hey, we at least should get a couple of packs here. If we have a look at the rewards, we can see that second place is going to be receiving 2 packs. Oh, we get a chest from earlier, but that's not what we're looking at. We're looking at this tournament is 2 packs of Fusion Strike and 100 coins, which can get us towards some more packs of Fusion Strike. So we will be going ahead and getting those once the tournament officially ends there and those 2 players have finished their match. Just a real shame that that one was such a fast game, but that is just the way it goes with a theme deck. Sometimes you get really bad luck like that. But let me know if you've got any good successes with the Fusion Strike tournaments this time around. If you've have got any successes, then of course let me know what decks you guys have been playing in the comment section down below, and I'll see you in the next video.